Foiled by a fruit cup. Welcome to Community News. My name is Paul.
And my name is Sasha.
Hello there, Sasha. How are you today?
I'm good. I'm chuckling because that might be one of my favorites of your titles for this show.
It's such an
Foiled by a
amazing true
fruit cup.
crime that took place that I had no
Ooh,
option but to say that.
true
Exactly.
crime, true crime, true crime.
True crime,
We can actually
yes, it has. For those who can't see, true crime starts jazz hands for Sasha for whatever
I get
reason.
excited that we can hashtag true crime, even though we're not a true crime podcast. So,
So
what
it's
is the true crime story that it has to do with a foiled by a fruit cup?
It was unbelievable. We all know Stephanie's Jewelry on Main Street. Apparently, somebody came in there to try on a chain. As he tried on the chain, he ran out of the store, and they couldn't catch him. But thankfully, he was a good person and didn't want to get scurvy, so he was eating a fruit cup while he was there and left his fruit cup there. So they got the
Hold
DNA
on.
evidence off the fruit cup, find
That
out
is
who the
so
criminal
great.
was, and they caught him that way.
That is just a fabulous story. There's nothing I love more than dumb criminals, sloppy criminals. Like, what? Don't you know we live in a time of DNA and forensics? And I mean, why would you leave anything with your DNA there? That's just so stupid.
My thing is, when was the last time you ate a fruit cup? That's what I
Yeah,
want to know.
I'm not a big packaged fruit cup with fruit syrup person, but if I was eating it, I can tell you one thing right now. I wouldn't be walking around Main Street in and out of stores eating it. Like, first of all, most of the stores don't let you in with a water bottle. They're not going to let me in with a fruit cup with all that thick syrup in it.
With your plastic spoon, which has that film of syrup
Exactly.
that never gets off because it's just pure sugar.
Exactly. I mean, quite frankly, who would have the audacity to walk into any store with that? Like, they tell you not to bring food into a store. That's a particularly sloppy food that is going to get all over. Like, that is just not
It's just
something
an
I would walk
amazing,
into.
amazing story. So that was thwarted. So I guess to any criminals coming to Townport, if you're eating a fruit cup, you will be caught. If you're eating some
Exactly.
sort of food and leave a wrapper, you will be caught.
I hope we don't have real thieves listening to us, but in case we do, I would take this to heart. You don't even want to come into the store eating an apple, which would be a cleaner, more a less sloppy eat than a fruit cup. But if you're eating an apple and you drop that apple, Townport will DNA test it and they will find you. And I'm so glad because, like I said a few podcasts ago, there's been a real big theme lately of we can't do anything with the criminals because the state isn't allowing it. So I'm really glad that they chased down this person with their DNA. And I'm really glad that the person is actually apprehended and incarcerated. And we're not just saying, oh, well, you're allowed to go and just take whatever you want.
Yep. So it's amazing. So we've got it done. On a good note, as everybody knows, it's turning May. So this Saturday, the annual street fair on Main Street. All stores will be open, having all their Hazarai and stuff out on the sidewalk. Streets will be closed. Go out and walk, shop Main Street, buy something. Say hi to Stephanie and tell her that you're happy that the Fruit Cup Bandit was caught.
Exactly. And hopefully she gets her chain back. They get
Yes.
actually return the item. Although who would want to buy it? Now, I wouldn't want to buy. Would you want to buy a pre-stolen item that was
Yes,
now
of
returned?
course. It would have a great story attached to it for all time.
Do you think they clean the DNA off the
I
guy
certainly
off the
hope
chain?
not.
Yeah, I mean now you that guy's DNA. So now you've got that chain. You go somewhere and you mistakenly they like something happens, they mistakenly find the chain that fell off of you. They test it and they think you've committed all these crimes, but it's just you, Paul, who doesn't commit crimes,
It would be
who was
even better
wearing
if I did commit a crime and his DNA was on it and he was busted for something else. How about
That's
that?
true. But I think it's more that like you would be wearing the DNA laden chain and it falls off of you somehow. The clasp just, unclasps and you get called out for doing like 14 crazy crimes that you never did.
Thank you so much for looking out for me. You know what? I
I
will not
am.
be buying the DNA
I'm trying to
infested
think of,
chain at Stephanie's
yes,
this
I'm
weekend.
trying to think of all the reasons and what could go wrong of why not to buy the pre-warned crime chain that maybe they'll discount a little bit. Now, back to the street fair. What I love about those is that it's not yet the sidewalk sale. That comes during the summer, hot months. But the street fair, I love, as you said, the Hazara. I love how the stores give out, should we call it swag? You know, they give out like random keychains and pens with the store's name on it and plastic garbage that my kids say, Mom, please don't bring any of that stuff home. But I will literally go booth to booth and try and collect as many pens as I can with different stores' names on them.
I have enough pens in the house to last me for the next 10,000 years of writing.
I was going to say for the rest of your life. I was going to say because lately I've been doing some college tours with my son, and they give out all the pens and all the things, and I've been taking the pens and the pencils, and I did have the thought, will I be alive enough years to run out the ink on all of these pens, or will the pens outlive me?
We have enough pens that we're going to build an addition to our house out of pens. That's how many pens we have. It's so insane.
It would be cool if you shaped it like a pen.
Right.
Like back to on the Brady Bunch when somebody wanted a building shaped like a lipstick. And Mike Brady was asked by the lady to build a building in the shape of a lipstick. You should make the addition the shape of a pen and then
Wait a
store
second.
all
What
the
Brady
pens.
Bunch was that? I do not
You don't
remember
remember?
him. No.
I almost think it was Zsa Zsa Gabor, but it was someone like her, if not her, who came. I think she was her, like, darling. And she supposedly owned a makeup company and she wanted a building shaped like a lipstick.
I'm going to have to look. Now I'm going to go on a quest to find that Brady Bunch.
Yes, you're going to have to look that up. I will look it up too, and I'll send you what I find.
Anyway, so Street Fair this Saturday, rain or shine, it's going on. Weather looks like it will be okay, so make sure to go out there. And
get some free pens.
Free pens. And if you didn't have enough of your fellow town porters, on Sunday at the library, it's the Read and Rise, 7 a.m. Come out to the library. You can meet your fellow readers and read and eat donuts and drink coffee. And I don't know what else is going on.
Yeah, I'm a reader. I'm always in book clubs, sometimes more than one. I love reading. I like the sound of that event, meeting other intellectual readers or pseudo-intellectual, but I don't like the time. 7 a.m. and on a Sunday, like that's a day you get to sleep in, the day of rest.
That's usually, you've usually gone to bed around 4 or 5 in the morning every night. 7 a.m. is impossible for you to get up at.
7 a.m. No, for me to get up at 7 a.m., and I do sometimes when I have a job or something scheduled, I literally have to go to bed. I have to take my sleep medicine at 8 p.m. so that by 9 I'll be asleep so that I can wake up by 5 or 6. Like it's a whole thing. 7 a.m. doesn't just happen easily.
Wait a second. You go to bed at 9, then who's going to do all that scrolling of Facebook and Instagram from 9 p.m. till 4 a.m.? What's going on?
That's only when you see me and I'm somehow still awake. My body is not responding to my sleep medicine and I'm stuck awake. Although what happened the other day, you might have noticed, I was trying to wake up by 6:30 because my son had something at 8 a.m. that I had to go to with him. This was on Sunday. And instead, I woke up at 4:30. So I went to bed at 10 so that I'd have enough sleep till 6, but I woke up at 4:30 and then I couldn't fall back asleep. So then I was on a scroll-a-thon. And funny you should mention a scroll-a-thon because my son actually said to me, he came home, he's a senior in high school. He came home one day last week. He goes, Mom, you're the talk of town. He literally said this. And I go, what are you talking about? And he goes, apparently you had some kind of insomniac Instagram scrolling and liking of people from my high school class. He goes at 2:30 in the morning. And I'm like, this is more detail than I even know. I just know that I couldn't sleep and I was scrolling and I was liking things and being, supportive, like, congratulations. Yay, you're going to that school. And my son goes, all these kids came up to me and said, your mom was at 2:30 in the morning. So he literally said to me, instead of being mad, like 2 years ago, he would have been so mad and like, don't ever like anything of anyone my age. But instead he just goes, Mom, if you're going to do that, you can't do it at 2:30 in the morning. He's like, you have to give yourself a cutoff of like 11 p.m. and a starting time of like 8 a.m. He said anything in between there is really weird. And it's weird that you're like liking seniors in high school
Amazing. I love that
That's a
story.
perfect story for Paul because the same thing you made fun of me for. But like I didn't even know I couldn't sleep. I was looking on Instagram. I wasn't just looking at his friends. I was just whatever came in my feed. But somehow it was feeding me a lot of 17 and 18-year-olds like going off to this college, and I'd write congratulations, Harry, or whatever. And he's like, Mom. He was laughing. But when he said you're the talk of town, it almost was like he was. It was almost like he was a ventriloquist and he was saying something you would say to me.
It's so great. I love that. And it's so perfect and so apropos that I'm not the only one who notices that there's
so
scrolling
Sasha.
going on all night long.
It's so Sasha.
It's so great. Anyway, so don't forget Street Fair on Saturday. Rise and read at the library at 7 a.m. on Sunday. And that wraps up this episode of Community News. And as always, my name is Paul.
And as always, my name is Scrolly Sasha.
Scrolly Sasha. I will see you next week.
I will see you next Tuesday, Paul. And we love you, community.
Take care.
Bye.
Bye.